All right. Cheers, everyone. I am Amy Mitchell with Houses of Windsor, and we are recording today because we had some technical difficulties getting up to Facebook Live. So you're seeing this after the fact. And I am with Nancy Rodriguez of Cup and Crown, and this is our new monthly our new monthly thing that we're doing, which is the tea tasting with the tea ladies.
Okay.
So, hey Nancy,
Hi, how are you?
how are you?
Fine. It's a good day here for tea in the afternoon, actually.
Is it
Yeah.
kind of chilly or yucky, or what is it?
It's been chilly. It's been a little damp, a little overcast, and
Okay.
yeah, in the 60s. So, which isn't
Okay.
terrible. I know, you Floridians, of course, you're Indiana girl.
Yeah, but I'm really a Floridian.
Yeah.
I was made for Florida.
You're supposed to say you're British, not Floridian.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I have a British heart, but my skin is made for Florida.
There you
My
go.
temperature is made for Florida.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank you for sending me these 3 teas. They are sitting in front of me, and one in particular I'm dying to get to, but
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
I can try them all.
Awesome. Are you gonna let me know which one you're dying to get to?
The number 2, so you have sent me lemon white, you have sent me cherry rose green, and you've sent me blueberry black, which I love black tea. Big on black tea, but yeah, you said we're going to go in from lightest to darkest, so I'm doing my 1, 2, and my 3 here.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'm
Awesome.
ready to pour.
Okay, yeah, I'll pour too. And I did like what you did last time, where I have a pretty tea kettle with my hot water.
Oh, so this is the first teapot I ever bought.
Oh my gosh, well that's really cute. That's a pretty one.
Isn't that pretty? I know. Has a little bit of, my mother would say Oriental. I'm not sure you're allowed to say that anymore. It's Asian. It has a little bit of an Asian feel and look to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but as I recalled, it was okay to say it about like objects like rugs or like the teapots or whatever. It's just not okay for people. You don't call people.
Well, this looks like it was from the Orient. Let me just
yes, there you go.
That's what Queen Victoria would have said back in the day.
There you go. But yeah, so you did the one last month, our inaugural tea tasting, and we did the 3 Earl Greys. So this time, my only running theme is fruit.
And rainbow. I mean, we're looking at yellow lemons, white, cherry, which is pink and red, rose, which is red, green, blueberry, which is blue, black. I mean, you just said
that's true.
Array of color to me too. So
that's
when
true.
I was putting the posting out there, I was like, what? It's so colorful. I mean, should I color or should I advertise this as fruit?
That's
yeah. It's the rainbow there. Well, this one smells very lemony. I like that one.
Yeah,
is this something that you typically use for your tea parties? Is this sought after? Yeah,
so the cherry rose is a new one that I have. Actually, these are all pretty new. The lemon white, I can tell you, was has been a favorite, and there's someone in particular that when she had her wedding back like right before COVID shut the world down, she I went there and basically did the reception, and her tea that was offered was the lemon white because she loved that, and then her so it was like the bride and groom's tea. So, and the groom's tea was I believe it was English breakfast. That was his favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
So they each got to pick. So people would come up and they got to choose either the bride's tea or the groom's tea.
Gotcha. This is embarrassing, and I'm not really sure how to handle this, but my neighbor is ringing my doorbell right now, and there's nobody else here who's answering it.
Oh,
she can see right now I'm in here. So
that's hilarious. You can go answer. I don't care.
She just walked away. I'll go explain to her later. What do you do?
I love it.
I need to put I guess I need to put a sign on my front door from now on going, yeah, see, she's looking back going, I see her in there.
Yeah, it says, yeah, recording. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's what when I was working at the fence place over the summer, I would put up a sign on the door that says quiet on the set. It's a recording in progress.
Yeah, I need to put like do not disturb. She's going to the other neighbor. I hope everything is okay.
Oh no.
So yeah, I would feel
Okay.
bad. But all right.
Okay.
So all right, I've dissolved my sugar in the lemon.
Okay.
Stir that up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and take them all out. And put my sugar in. Because you can't taste it without sugar.
You know, and I
There'd
said
be no point.
And right, that the seventh Earl of Twining said, you know, sugar dulls the palate. Never put sugar in your tea. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like everything else we Americans do. I'm going to bastardize your tea theory right there.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Like the Brits, they all like milk and sugar is what is their way.
Right.
So
God bless the person who can do this without sugar. I just can't. I wish I could go without sugar, but and you're gonna laugh. So speaking of sugar, and before we get to this, so what goes better with tea than cake?
Oh my gosh, I love you.
This is my birthday cake that my husband did a surprise party this weekend. We have a massive amount of birthday cake.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I like cake.
I'll skip it this evening. So that would definitely dull my tea palate right here. So I'm going to save that after I've tasted everything.
But it's a very nice prop. It's a nice set piece.
Cake. Okay.
That's hilarious. So, okay. So the lemon. Now I've tried all these before. Unlike I think last month, you hadn't tried all of the ones that you sent, right? Were you trying to?
No, I had not.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be interested for you to kind of lead what your first impressions are, since my first impressions were a while ago.
Yes, exactly. So first impression is I smell lemon. I definitely smell lemon. And I could smell it when I open the bag. I love the color of this one. Whereas, like, because I drink a lot of black tea gives off like an orangey, golden, brownish color. And this is like yellow golden. It's very, very pretty. So if the appearance of your tea is important to you, or to you, I do like the color. It's very pretty. So
perfect. Yeah, I like this one. Are you much of a citrus person in general? Like if it's, say, desserts, like, I don't know, key lime pie, lemon flavored stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I almost religiously have lemon in my black teas.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Right. I forgot you just.
Yeah, it's a real treat when I do the milk and the sugar, but to do the lemon, I always have sliced lemon on hand, always. And traveling. So speaking of traveling, when I go to hotels and it's not always there. I travel with my own tea. Because I know I'm only going to get a skimpy, terrible selection, and I always have to take a tea that does not require lemon.
I see.
That is better with the milk and the sugar. So yes, I do like key lime pie. I like lemon cake. I do like lemons. So
nice. Yeah. So what is your tea that you bring that does not require a lemon for you?
Something that has sort of a sweet nature to begin with. There are a couple of Harney and Sons teas, like the Tower of London tea that has like a raisin currant kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
The Buckingham Palace tea that's also from Harney and Sons. Paris tea, something that's already fruity usually. Okay. That where the lemon would actually spoil it. So I would travel with an Earl Grey. Well, I could actually, because I don't mind my Earl Grey with the milk or cream. But this is very good. I taste the base of the white tea behind it. And I always say I should drink more white tea because white tea is supposed to help eliminate some of this.
Oh, really?
So here I am.
Okay.
So my last.
I didn't know. Yes.
Yes. I keep saying I should just brew white tea every day and just chug a glass of white tea just to get it down. And white tea has become a very popular product on the cosmetics market because it does have those qualities. Apparently, it's supposed to be
interesting. Okay.
But the lemon that's added with this, I love. This is a very light. To me, very light. Something's like I just want a little something in the afternoon to.
Right.
So I do like this. It's very good.
And I feel like this would be a good one with like the cake or whatever to kind of balance, because it's not super sweet depending on how much sugar you put in it.
Yeah, that's all in control. Yes. But I can see with a shortbread cookie or a sugar cookie would be very good.
Yeah. Gosh, those shortbread cookies. Too good.
Walkers. Yep.
Yeah, Walkers. Yeah, so good.
So I tried my first lion the other day, my Nestle Lion.
Oh, I don't know if I know what that is.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, because I thought I was copycatting, because I copycat everything you do.
I love it.
It's a Nestle Lion, and honestly, it's just like it has like the rice, the dried puffed rice in it.
Yeah.
Is it like a French bar?
Yeah,
it's like
a candy bar. Oh, okay.
It's very good. Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried all the candies. I have basically, like everything in my story, I've like found one thing that I liked 20 years ago, and then I kept getting that. So I loved the flakes, the chocolate flakes. Those were my favorite.
Flakes. That was something you talked about. I thought there was another one too.
That's Cadbury. The other ones, I'm trying to think which ones did I eat. I don't know. I got kind of flaked out though because I ate them too much, and they are so messy. Like they're called like the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate, and it's like, yeah, it literally is. Like it just crumbles.
Right. So eating it at the table, and yeah.
Captain's here for his tea.
Getting a photo. Well, so your cat always photobombs you. Jackie's going to be out of school in about 3 minutes, and she'll probably come and see us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. She can try some tea. Does she like drinking any of the teas?
She does. She does like drinking. Yes. I really like this white lemon. This is nice and light. Like I said, just something. I don't want a heavy tea in the afternoon. I see that one. So, all right. Can I try this cherry rose, please?
Yes, you may, Captain.
All right.
I'll try mine when he gets out of my way. Move, Captain.
So when I opened the bag, it smelled like wine.
Oh, interesting.
Wine that had a great quality to it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Did. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's super fragrant. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a perfumey, almost like a jasmine quality, like jasmine. First time I had.
And I'm assuming it's the rose that's in it, because it's called China, right?
You like that too.
I know. It's like, at least show your face.
Oh, this is good.
Right? I know. The first time I tried this one, I was like, oh, wow.
Very much so. So I'm not a big green tea drinker. It has to be the right
Same
blend.
Here.
But this is heavenly. Oh, I do like this one. I'll be talking with you offline. Yep. Who's your supplier on this one?
I'll let you know.
I love that.
When I picked out a green-ish teacup for my green tea to try and keep track of it, and then I blew for the blueberry black, and then the white lemon is just like, well, the one that's not the other two.
Okay, so this is one of my new teacups, and it's very white.
Oh, cute.
Pansy on it, which is my sorority flower. I wish I
love
it last week when I met with my sorority sister, and this was a gift also this weekend. So I did this one for the green rose. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that one's really pretty.
Isn't it pretty? And then this one was one that a neighbor gave me. If you have seen any of my Halloween tea pictures, I use this one because it's black and it has a gold trim around there.
Yeah, that's
on the inside. I can't show you, but it actually has almost like a little cornucopia of fruit painted on the inside.
Oh, really? Okay, because I can see like the inside top edge that looks gold, but I can't see past the gold.
It's not gold, but in the bottom it actually there's an orange and a peach and a banana and so I'm not sure why.
That's awesome.
Well, this is very good. I love this one. So far of the three, I like this one. This is my favorite so far.
Okay. It might be, it might be mine too, of the three. I don't know. I've known of the lemon white one the longest, and I've had other blueberry blacks, not necessarily this brand of it, but It's real. I mean, I love blueberry black, so I feel like you can't really go wrong with that.
Blackberry black was one of my favorites when I first started drinking, and I haven't bought that in a long time. We had so Old Town Fairfax, and I do mean Old Town. The old courthouse from the late 1700s, 1800s is still 20 minutes up the street there, and part of the town still is old. Some of the buildings they've been able to maintain, and there was a tiny little tea shop in there, and he sold just a plethora of loose leaf teas. He had such a great selection. Unfortunately, he did not stay in business. This was even a couple years ago. This was well before.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, he went out. But man, I would just go in and go, where do I start? Can I just stop? Let me try these this week, and then I'll come back and I'll try.
Right. Oh man.
He had so many different ones. All right, so this is blackberry black.
Okay.
Looks like
blueberry black. You said
blueberry.
blackberry.
And I do a blueberry white. I can't remember if I ever sent you my sample of blueberry white. It smells a lot like that.
Not sure.
Have to send you some if I haven't.
I know, yeah. I'll just say you haven't so that you send me some.
Black tea. It's very good. All right.
That's true, yeah.
Sorry, this one just went over.
I know, to say it is like a very full blueberry like taste as you're drinking it.
Yes, it is. It's very good.
And I'm glad that we went from light tea to dark tea, or else I think it would have killed the lighter teas.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't think anything follows that better than.
There you go, piece of cake. I love it. I'll just be.
It too.
Yeah, I say the queen and I will just be sitting over here as we don't have any cake.
This is so good.
She's gonna put you in the Tower of London.
That means I'll be in London. I'll take it.
That's true. Yeah, you're like, I don't care. Even if it's a dungeon, I'll take it.
Then I have an honey home. They've got me lock, stock, and barrel. Almond buttercream frosting, so good.
Okay. Oh wow, that does sound good. Yeah, now I'm like, where am I? All my treats are like far. I'll eat them later.
Honey.
Yeah, thank you.
So I wanted to show you this too.
Yes.
So this is another birthday present. And I wish there were an age on this. It was probably not that old. It just looks like it could be old. But it looks like an ancient,
I'm
gonna say Oriental again. You can see it reflected in there. It's even got the little key here. But it's a key box.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cute?
Oh wow.
Storing
and that's for the very cool.
It's for loose leaf.
Is it silver on the inside?
So that's where I'm like, is that what they normally do? So somebody's taken some tin foil and kind of pasted it to the top there, which I've seen in other places, but I don't know necessarily for the tea box. But I think just kind of, I think it just helps with the freshness. If you put your loose leaf tea in there. I guess so many loose leaf teas. If I only had a choice of 2 loose leaf teas, yes, I would use this. But I have so many that they would go bad before I ever got to those. There. So
yeah, I guess the foil makes sense since so many teas are packaged in actual tea tins. So I guess that's just like your DIY tea tin, just using your foil.
Yes. I always take some little baggies and label them. So I'm going back to the green one, the cherry rose one. Again, how fragrant that is. First time I ever had jasmine tea, it was a sample my mother brought me, and I want to say it was Tea Forte. Can I mention names? It was Tea Forte. Sure. It's very good.
Mention anyone you want.
But it was so jasmine. It was so fragrant that it was almost like drinking perfume. I'm not kidding you. Sister walked in the door, and she was a good 25 feet away. And she walked in. She said, "Did somebody just put perfume on?"
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, yeah, it was a little bit strong. So, but yeah, I like this. It's just enough where it finishes with that nice flavor.
Yes. Yeah. You want it fragrant, but you don't want to feel like you're drinking an actual bottle of perfume.
Soap, it's like, oh, somebody.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they get kind of soapy. Yeah.
I don't like that either. So.
I know I was going to ask you earlier when we were stirring in our sugar. Are you good at stirring the proper way, where it's just back and forth without hitting the sides?
I have practiced that many times over. Yes, I am. I do that.
It's like a game of operation. Like you can't
right?
touch the sides.
Yes, I do. There's
Yep. Yeah, I say this one. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, this one's like a weirder shape, so there's less room. It's like tiny.
I can see. Yeah, that's kind of like this one too. You just really,
much less space.
Back and forth there.
Yeah, this one has a really nice wide open mouth. A little bit more than usual, I feel.
That would be this one. Yeah, actually the other two that I'm using for sure. So, and where do you rest your spoon? Does it go in the front or in the back?
Uh-oh.
I read it's in the back.
Yeah, it's like, it seems like it would make sense to have it in the back, right? Like out of your way.
Right. So, okay, so the never-ending question.
Mm-hmm.
Milk in first?
Oh, no.
Why?
Okay, so I'm sure, do you know the reason why?
I have read and heard through the biblical Downton Abbey etiquette,
yes,
why it started as how people started putting milk in first, and why they started doing that. But it was a lower class thing. So
right.
I wanted to hear from you.
So, okay, because what originally, wasn't it because it helped so that like the china was so fragile, like it wouldn't break, like it helped with the temperature or whatever when you put the hot tea in, if there was milk in already.
Exactly.
Right.
So the upper classes could afford the good china.
Right.
And when they put their tea in, that's, it wasn't a problem. It would typically not break their china, but the lower classes may still be using earthenware or cheaper versions of china. And so when they would put the hot water in, it could crack or break the cup. So they would put the milk in to sort of soften the blow, if you will, and cool the cup before the hot water went in. And that's what that awesome episode of Downton Abbey where they've invited some people over to talk about the World War I memorial going up, and someone looks at Carson and he says, I'll pour the tea now. And she says, milk in first, please. And he whips his head around like,
that's awesome.
That always stuck with me. So
I love it. That's great. Yeah, I need to go through and just like rewatch all of Downton Abbey. It's been a little while.
I have watched it so much that I've had to take a break from it. I have so much of it memorized. I've got an eyelash sticking to me. Yeah, I've had to take a break, but I think I told you I'm knee deep in All Creatures Great and Small.
Right.
It earned a nickname back in the day that All Creatures Grunt and Smell, which is probably very appropriate. But it's just an endearing show about when life was simpler, and the Yorkshire Dales that are just gorgeous. And I just saw another advertisement for the remake that's coming out, and I was just sitting there like watching it like this.
Right.
And he's like, what does that look on your face? And he looked at the television and goes, never mind. Something English, I know what it is.
Right. And I know at our little virtual group tea time in the private group on Friday that Cheryl had knows all the same shows, loves all the same shows. So you said the new one that they're doing, where is all of it going to be on PBS, or is there another way to watch it? Because I just have streaming stuff. I don't have PBS.
But if I'm not mistaken, Amy, and I was thinking about I meant to bring this up to you too, that I think if you go to pbs.org, I think you can stream it that same episode. Like, so when Victoria comes out, I think you can watch it the next night. So you need to look into it, because I think they have, they will still run those.
Okay, so that's good to know. Yeah, I'll need to look at that.
So, it's just a delightful show. And the next one that's coming out, some really top-notch actors, but the scenery and the photography is just, it'll make you want to go to England, but it'll make you want to go to the north of England and
I see.
Spend time up there with the sheep. So.
So when you were there on your trip, what time did you spend out on in the countryside? Did you spend any time where you're out walking the random paths between people's fields?
Not enough. We did one day trip, one of those Viator trips, Viator, get up at the crack of dawn when you're already jet lagged, and get on a bus that takes you to Victoria Station, and then you get on another bus, a very comfortable luxury bus, and oh man, I poured over those trips. I mean, you can go to Stonehenge, and you can go to Oxford, and you can go to so many places. Should we have gone to Downton Abbey or to Highclere Castle? That's another question. But it was going to be closed when we were there. So I finally found one that would take us through the idyllic Arlington Row, known as Byberry, where you see they look like little elfin cottages, actually, the thatched roofs. So we went through there. We went to, let's see, I'm going to forget this, Burton on the Water. Everything began with a B. Blenheim Palace. And, why can't I think of it? It's the, shame on me, the village that they use for the Downton Abbey village. So we actually walk through and see what, their actual library is, what is the doctor's office, and someone's house, fronted as the Duck and Dog pub, and things like that. So we got to walk through there. We got to go through St. Mary's Church, which was the St. Michael's and All Souls, which they used for the weddings of the girls. So we got to see the grounds. So we got to drive around through the bus, but if I could go back, the Cotswolds are again on my list. The Yorkshire Dales are on my list, and so is Port Isaac. What am I thinking of down there? Cornwall. I would love to go to Cornwall and the seaside. And Wales. Oh, throw in Scotland. Oh, while I'm there, Ireland.
I know. Yeah, so what's funny, what I really liked is, and you're doing a much better job at remembering places you've been. So I don't know where to tell you I was when I experienced this, but and literally one of them was like just 2 years ago. And we even stayed in a big house out in the countryside, and we were there for like 4 days, and I don't know what the name of the place was. I could find it out.
Message me later. Send me pictures. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, because it's like a group of 14 of us, so someone knows where we were. But what I always love and think is so interesting and very un-American is the way they just have these kind of like public footpaths, like that you just kind of walk through people's fields to get through, like to get wherever you want to go. If you're going into town, or if you're just going on a hike, like the public path goes all through people's public, like private property, but it's like cool. Everyone's cool with it. And they even have, so they have different kinds of ways so that you're not walking through a normal gate, letting people's like animals loose or whatever. So, so they have some where it is like steps, and you like step over the gate, like it, and they're usually pretty, we'll just say very simple. So it's like, it gets a little tricky sometimes. Like it's just stepping on like one board and then trying to like get over to the other side. And then they have some that are cool little, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like a certain kind of gate where basically if you open it to get to the inside, you have to close it before you can open the other one anyway. Like it won't let you open both at the same time. So again, you're keeping their animals where they belong. But you'll be walking, I mean, in the field, like the sheep will be hanging out or whatever. It's not, it's not the get off my property, I have a shotgun feel.
Interesting.
And I just think it was so neat. But so when I was there with my husband at the time, in 2012, we stayed in a place in Wales that I of course don't know where. Again, all these things could be figured out. But I know we were in Wales, and we were at a bed and breakfast that was called the White House because it was a White House. And
we don't own the phrase.
That's right. Yep, we don't. So I'm pretty sure that White House was older than our White House.
Probably. Yes, possibly.
Yeah. So we went for a hike on these, like, public / private footpaths or whatever, but there's not like a real map, and somehow we got kind of lost. So we ended up on like probably like a 2-hour walk that was supposed to be like only a little like half-hour thing, and that only mattered because we were trying to like get back to get our suitcases and like whatever, catch whatever bus,
Oh
at a certain
gosh,
time.
okay.
um and we got sunburned, so people don't ever think of the United Kingdom as like being sunny and hot. We were there in June. Yeah,
The
like
sun is
June.
the sun. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're supposed
Exactly.
to
Yeah,
warm.
it's like it was hot. Like, I mean, it obviously wasn't Florida hot. but but it was warm, and you're right, the sun still, yeah, still burns you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I just think it's really cool that they do that, that you can just kind of walk around wherever, and you might end up in the field with cows or sheep or whatever, and just like,
Hopefully not a bull charging you.
yeah, hopefully not. I haven't run into
One of
that
my
yet.
favorite things that when we first moved up here to Virginia, and I would try to drive my way somewhere, even with a GPS, if I took a wrong turn, I always seem to stumble. Remember, Virginia, the Commonwealth, is one of the oldest established areas in the country. So every once in a while, you'd stumble across this, God knows what, an old house, an old barn, and just a chimney sitting in the middle of nowhere.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you saw something like that and you're being lost for 2 hours, albeit if you're in a panic because you need to get back to a bus or something, then
Right.
that kind of takes away from it. But I would say, if you learn something new, if you can get something out of that being lost, there are many times I have stumbled upon the prettiest little Victorian era cottages
Oh,
or
cool.
houses painted blue with roses, and
Oh,
out in the middle of
nice.
nowhere where there's nobody else.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I love things like that. Gosh, what you said something else too about oh gosh, see.
That's right. Yeah, so I can say we did still enjoy it. We didn't start feeling rushed till like towards the end. We realized like what time it was and really like how long we spent being lost.
Right.
But we also, our plan was to, when we were going to catch that bus, we were going to stop off in another town without a name. And for a certain, to stop for like a certain place for proper afternoon tea. We looked like just the worst. I mean, the worst tourists, because it's like we had been sweaty. I'm clearly sunburnt already.
Oh,
like it's already visible. And we're like, is it okay? Can we still come and have tea? And they did. They were really nice. They're like, it's totally fine. But we felt very, yes, we felt a little like peasants.
Yes, out of place. Well,
Yeah.
when I mentioned Arlington Row, and that was something else, that was the other thing I was going to say too. So when we went to Byberry, these people get tourists there all the time. And these are privately owned cottages. They used to be crofters' houses where they, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was wool or if it was wheat, but the people that lived there, because they worked there and they used to work the land, but now they're extremely expensive, highly sought after little cottages. So this is a very close-knit little community. So I remember walking up, stopping to get the famous picture, because you have to, and walking, this woman had come out and she's out there watering her lawn. And my sister says, "Good morning." And we got one of those. Yeah. Get out of here.
That's hilarious.
And so, to have those paths and know that people are going to take their walks and stuff like that, if they're amenable to it, I think that's just so great. I think in those tiny little cloisters, they're probably like, oh, here they come again.
Right. Yeah. They're like, no, these paths are like for us who live here. They're like, we don't love you guys coming.
You better have a really good fake British accent if you're going to pull that one off. So do you have a good British accent?
No, and actually this came up in a British Chamber meeting recently. They told me they wanted me to do one. I said no. It's because we were on a Zoom call, and the president of the British Chamber, who is British, he was not there. He was at his son's wedding. So someone who was visiting the group is actually Cheryl. She's like, this is supposed to be the British American Chamber. Where are all the British accents? There was like one person, and then the rest of us were all like Americans. So they're like, Amy, do one. I was like, I'm not doing one. And so I said, the only one that gets to hear my British accent is Piper. I said, I'm not confident enough in it. So then they're like, well, you need to work on it. And when it's time for you to do a presentation, you have to do it in your British accent.
Oh my God.
So
I think I can do them pretty well, but not when I'm put on the spot like that. And not if I think there are Brits around to sit around and judge me badly,
right,
you know?
right. Yeah. And so, yeah, so I threw someone else under the bus. His name's Renee, and he's hilarious, but he, I was
from
like,
your
well,
band,
yeah, Renee is actually in my British group. Yeah.
Oh, no, I did meet Renee from South Africa.
Nope, wait, hold on. South Africa, that was Aubrey. I don't know if you've met Renee.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah, so that's okay.
Tell your story now. Okay.
Yes, Renee, yeah, Renee's heritage is Cuban. So
okay, I'm way off.
I know. So he I called him out. I was like, well, Renee can do a really good Queen. Like, so when he was on my virtual tea time, he kept doing a Queen like imitation, which was hilarious. And of course, just ridiculous, but it was pretty decent. So he was like, Amy, come on. Like, I called him out for the whole meeting. It's like I had to throw it to somebody. So he was like, I don't want to do the Queen. He's like, but I can do Nick, who's the president of our the chamber, who wasn't there.
Hilarious.
So he did Nick's, and it was just hilarious. Everyone was like, especially everyone who knew Nick, they're like, that's pretty good.
You get him one of those faces with the stick.
Oh yeah, we need to.
Yes, that would be hilarious. Well, maybe, so you and I are going to do another tea tasting. I need to send you the teas. I'll do that when I get back into town. I have some seasonal teas. I think I told you something very befitting of November. Right. But maybe you and I should do the next one with our fake British.
Oh my goodness. The pressure's on. I like it.
So that would be
That's true. I'm going to have to start practicing. And I'm like, I mean, it can't be that. I'm going to say it's easier now than ever, I feel like, to be able to practice, because like I can easily just record myself on my phone and listen back. Like I don't have to do it in front of anybody and be embarrassed. So
in your head though, does your voice in your head, is it still you, or do you typically speak with the British accent in your head?
I just say it's probably still me, but I have like, it has become basically my first nature to spell everything the British way. So it doesn't matter who I'm emailing or texting or whatever, I will put a U in everything.
My husband called me out on that. Are you sure you want to spell it that way? Yes, I am. I got called out. It was an Instagram post I did this week. And I said something about being cozy, C-O-S-Y, C-O-Z-Y. I said C-O-Z-Y, and I got called out.
Yep.
And let's say, I'm also a grammar major. No, because I still make mistakes, so you can call me out. I was gonna say, don't call me, no, but it was cute. She gave a ha afterwards. I think it was the British Foods group that I'm in, and she's like, didn't you mean this? And I'm like, no.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I feel like nobody really questions it. Like if they see the extra U, they assume like obviously I'm doing something on purpose. But when I replace Z's with S's, like realize or something like that, then it's like they probably just think like, God, does she not know how to spell?
What's wrong with her spell check? Well, how about your phone? Do you have your phone set up to speak with the British accent? I figured you would.
Yep, my GPS does, and my spell check is British as well. So like when I do go ahead and try to spell something with a Z, it tells like, for whoever I'm texting, it tells me I'm wrong the whole time.
That's funny. That is so funny. Yeah. So Jackie was and mostly still is loves Peppa Pig, and almost every Peppa Pig book there has been. And so when I read to her at night, I read to her with I'm like, do you want me to speak like Peppa? And she said, no, just speak like mommy.
I love it.
I can do
it. Are you sure?
I'll do it anyway.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I have, let's see. So I haven't done it in a while because we haven't read the book in a while, but really probably before Piper was even paying attention that I was speaking a certain way. There was one book, it used to be my old book, that for whatever reason I just felt like sounded best in a British accent. So it was the only book I read like that. But it was called A Day at the Robinsons. And it was, I'm sure it probably wasn't even like a big book in the 90s. It's probably just some random one I had. But I loved it because it was so, I guess, silly and like fantastical. So it's just kind of like this kid goes over to his friend's house and he's like, oh, like my aunt's just out walking the cats or whatever, and then you like look at the picture and she's like walking these giant tigers, and then it's like and the uncle's playing with his train set, and it's like a full-size train in the house.
Oh my God.
Like, so wow. Like everything's just like really fun and weird. So I always read that with the British accent.
Well, I find I'm fairly sensitive to stuff. So like, I think I pointed her out to you, and you've seen her before. She does afternoon tea in London. She's the afternoon tea expert in London, Eileen, and she's actually Irish. And so I can't read any of her posts without going the rest of the day with an Irish accent in my head.
Really? That's amazing.
Seriously, unless I'll watch like Downton Abbey or or then I go in and that's either my morning break before everybody. Hubby gets up early. Everybody else is still sleeping. I help him. I get his coffee. I help him get out the door, and I take my tea and my breakfast, and I cozy with a Z. I cozy in my sitting room, and I turn on a recorded show, which lately has been All Creatures Great and Small, and the people up there speak very, very differently and use different words. Like they don't say the word nothing; they say nout, N-O-W-T. Nout.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. And and it's funny that throughout the day, a couple times I've actually caught myself saying nout instead. I'm fully acclimated.
That's amazing. That's so great.
So the regional stuff, it just really depends on what I'm listening to. After Harry and Meghan's wedding, listening to the minister, what was it? Holy matrimony, where they shorten the vowels like the Queen does.
Yeah.
And had that going through my head for a second too. It's a longer vowel. It's a longer vowel. It's funny. I saw an interview with, was it both the boys or was it just with William? And he said that they've made a concerted effort to make sure that they tried to speak more like the people around them rather than the firm, if you will, or their grandmother. Right. And it's funny because they don't speak with very short vowels like that.
That's funny. They have to speak, stretch it out for us commoners.
Exactly.
That's really interesting because that is how I never thought about how to describe it, but you're right. Like the Queen and even like Prince Charles, the way that they speak, it's very like ooh. So there was something one time where I watched with I'm sure it was something on PBS, and like moved to one of the streaming channels, but it was something where they had like these old home videos that they had found or whatever that were of the, not just the Queen, but of like Charles when he was little and stuff. So just random like home video footage of like kids out playing and different things.
I've seen that.
You seen that? Yeah. And they show the Queen and Charles sitting there watching it, and it's like their live commentary.
Right.
It cracks me up because like, I mean, I know they know they're being filmed, but at the same time, it's like, is this how you guys hang out? It's like,
6 feet apart, don't look at each other.
And it's just like, oh, look at that.
So stuffy, and I hate to say that, but I saw that, and I thought the same thing. It was like, where's the popcorn?
I know.
You sit on the same couch.
Right. Well, and it just made me laugh because it's like to them, that's like they're really hanging out. Like, I mean, we think it looks funny, but they're like, yeah, like we're watching this, and this is what I would normally say is like, oh, look at that one with the dogs.
I remember seeing that. I do.
Yeah.
Um,
So that was fun to watch, especially because what was it? They had like those super cool little kid cars that
mhm,
looked like little luxury vehicles that
mhm.
of course at that time was still run with like pedals or whatever. But
Yeah,
and they're like, I don't remember that. Like, when did we get that? Like, it's just like normal people. We're like, when was that?
yes, exactly. So interesting to see. Was that the same one? Because of all the documentaries I've watched too. So there was a boat that they used to vacation on a lot, and I can't remember what it was called, but they had
Yeah.
to um, put it out
What?
to dry dock, whatever it is. And
Mhm.
there's footage of Elizabeth actually tearing up when they had to say goodbye to the boat when they were decommissioning the boat.
Oh yeah, I feel yeah.
Because
This sounds familiar.
you never see the woman cry. She doesn't cry at family weddings,
No,
but
no,
when they
no.
commission her boat,
It's the boat.
but I think there was, and I can appreciate that because it was a family member. They had so many families. It could very well have been the boat that she and her sister were on when she
Right.
met Prince Philip.
Hmm.
Um, and I just think there were probably a lot of memories. I think it was probably very hard for them to say. I mean, for as many times as we moved, when my family moved from Valdosta, Georgia to
Hmm.
Jacksonville, we stood in a circle holding hands, saying a prayer in the house and going, we can't leave this house. This house is part of the family. The
Oh,
walls could talk,
right,
and,
right.
when you have so many of those family memories, you feel like it's
Hmm.
part of the walls and you need to bring that with you. So I do
Right,
appreciate it. I'm making fun of it, but at the same time, I can
right, right.
appreciate that.
But I feel, yeah, but I do feel, right, and especially in her life, like everything is so basically set in stone as far as where you live, like the castle, everything. So it's like this is the one thing that basically is possible to be taken away
Right?
or like shut down for her. So
Yes,
yeah, probably was
exactly.
very different.
Yeah. I'm just, I'm going to have to go back and ask Jose about this too, but he knew somebody who had to have been Air Force, um, worked on her staff,
Oh, cool.
did something with her and said, the woman is amazing, that even at the age that she is, she still handles the business every single day without fail. She still is regimented in
Hmm.
the country. And I'm going to ask Jose about that because that is worth repeating later.
Yeah.
Probably can't give the name, but yeah, I need to remember what that story is. The other thing is, so I have inherited, and listen, I could talk all day, so you let me know
I
if you
know,
need.
it's right. Yeah, yeah, you're fine.
I don't get much adult interaction all day long.
I know. Yeah.
Little umbrage talk. So, my mom's dad served in the Navy in World War I,
Mhm.
and I have been the recipient. My mom used to have the books, and she's given them to me. I have pictures of my grandfather on the USS New Yorker pulling into Scotland, and I can't remember if it was on that tour or what, but I can pull up the picture. I'm going to have to show it to you.
Mhm.
He was on the ship that King George the Fourth and Queen Alexandra came on board the ship. And I've got pictures in the book, like photographs
Oh my
taken of
gosh.
the King and Queen of England. And it's
That's so
like,
cool.
no way.
That's awesome.
I need that. I have to be careful. Maybe I'll take a picture of the picture and be very
Right.
careful. But these books are like, they're on black paper and the black paper's falling apart. We're talking 1918. They're 102
Yeah, you've got,
years old now.
yeah.
But I need to take a picture of that and make that a post one of these days.
Yes, absolutely.
Super
That
cool.
sounds really cool.
Super cool.
Yeah. You have to
I
take
know
him to some kind of like,
somebody who slept with somebody who next door to somebody who was on ship next to somebody who met the king.
that's right. Yeah, so you have to go. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of places that do it, but you need to like take the album or whatever to like a place that can kind of like keepsake it or whatever, whatever,
Absolutely.
treat it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's totally worth it. We don't have a lot of history from my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
I do know, and she needs to send it to me. She's got a diary from, it's either her mom or her aunt. She's got an uncle that helped build a church somewhere in England.
Oh.
She's got family that goes back to England. So,
Oh, cool.
and only by a couple of generations. So I'm like, she was telling me about this on our flight over to London. I'm like, and I've not seen this before because
You waited until now.
you're gonna tell me this now. We should be going back there. We should be going
right.
back to that place to visit that. I'd love to see that. So very interesting. Again, I know you're busy, but I have a quick one more
Yes.
question.
Yes.
So tea party's totally on hold right now for you, yes? Because obviously not going anywhere for me at the moment.
Right. So essentially, yes. And also I have really pivoted with COVID nudging me, where I'm essentially only doing tea parties on an if you know to ask basis.
Okay.
So
Okay.
um so I'm really moving in the direction of straight up like the online tea store, and then these types of things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I do have people. I had like a couple calls last. Now I'm forgetting who one of them was, but anyway, that wanted to talk about tea parties for the spring. So like people, I feel like everyone for every industry is saying like March
Yes.
2021, like that's the
Yeah.
magic month.
I'm
So
getting a lot of that too. Yeah.
yeah, so I think people are all trying to look for that, and this one would be a pretty big one, a pretty big party, because the woman, I know her from my old neighborhood, but she's hilarious. She like does it up for every party, and
Wow.
it's like a baby shower, but yeah, the what is it? I think she said for one of her grandkids, it's gonna be, I said their third birthday. Yeah, because he was like born closely when I had Piper, and for his third birthday, it's circus themed, and like they have stilt walkers and acrobats and like stuff already booked. So like
Wow.
it's a real spectacle when she does her parties. So
Sure.
yeah. So I'll be a part of it, but I won't be able to throw the whole, the types of decorations and things. Yeah, she's gonna
Right.
have a lot of
Right.
rentals and things,
Oh,
but
fun.
so that's to say that she knew to ask.
Yeah.
so
Right.
so we're
Exactly.
talking about it. But I'd say like I'm comfortable in this time anyway. If people wanted to have it now and it's like just a small thing. I did have someone that it didn't work out with their group of friends, but they wanted to have a birthday party where it's going to be like just 6 of them, the whole,
Right.
less than
Right.
10 people rule.
Yes.
And and I'd wear my mask.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think it's not impossible. It's just still, you know.
I think a lot of people are still trepidatious about the situation. My neighbor really wanted to have one this fall, but none of her friends said that, they were all like, no,
Right.
we won't come in the house. I'm like, I'll do an outdoor tea and I can throw it together in 2 days. I can do it. Just let me
Right.
know. So that's gone out. There is a woman in our neighborhood who wrote a book
Mhm.
during COVID called
Oh,
Casablanca Blue. And one of my other neighbors, she used to do PR. She said, I'm holding a book signing for her. And she'd wanted to do a tea. And then she'd also wanted to do the book signing. She said, and the fall weekends have gotten away. So she's putting them together.
mhm.
So I'm just going to do tea service. You're not going to believe this. I actually found a blend of tea called Casablanca Blend.
What? That's
I'm not
awesome.
kidding. I know. So I'm doing that and Moroccan mint tea.
Oh,
And,
perfect.
and I'm going to do tea service and I'm going to make scones. We're just going to do a simple tea. Unfortunately, the woman who wrote the book said, oh, great. Well, I'm going to bring a case of wine. And I'm like, it's a tea. But it's her book. It's what she wants to do.
Right.
So, and I've, Girl Scouts. I'm trying to get into the venue of
That's
girls parties because I think there's a market for that. Just not right now.
Right.
But I have talked with a friend who runs. She's the den mother for the Girl Scouts, and she said in the spring, like you said, maybe
Right.
March, maybe April, and she wants me to do
Right.
a tea party for them. And they earn their hostess badge by doing.
Oh,
it.
that's
I'm
cool.
supposed to give some etiquette lessons in how to throw a tea.
Oh, there you go.
So
that's fun.
That would be fun. But yeah, for the most part, it's just like you said. It's keeping my face forward and out there just to let people know.
Yes. You have to
I
stay
love
consistent.
the tea yes.
Yes.
Those marshmallow things, amazing.
Yeah.
Delicious.
The tea cakes that are essentially a s'mores.
Yes. That's like marshmallow cream. That cream. Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I always forget it might say on the box that describes it, but yeah, because it's like almost a marshmallow, but it's something, I feel like it's like, yeah, I'll have to text it to you when I find it. It's described in a very special way.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send you a picture of the Nestle Lion because I think I still have one up there.
Yeah, let me see that.
And let you see that too.
Yeah.
But all right, so I am going to be out of commission for about a week.
Okay.
And then I will rush home and I will send those teas to you. So anyone and everybody out there watching, I believe we said November 17th is our next one.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot it was earlier than usual because of Thanksgiving. That's why you're rushing. I was like, why are you rushing? It's fine. It's October.
Because it's going to get busy. It's going to get very busy. And my son comes home from college on the 21st. And boy, our relationship has really changed since the second I said goodbye to him. And he actually texted me. We were going back and forth on a couple things, and I thought we were finished. And a couple minutes later, I get a text message, and he says, "I love you, Mom. I just thought I'd tell you that today."
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah, of course, he's going to come home, and it's going to go back to, get out of bed. Why are you still in bed? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Get out. And it's going to go back to what it was.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's awesome then. So he got to stay at his college and everything.
Yes.
And
Virginia Tech was hailed as a model school for how they were handling their COVID cases.
Awesome.
And Stephen actually benefited from the fact that his roommate was supposed to come from Morocco and he screwed up his visa. And so Stephen has actually had a dorm room to himself. He pushed the beds together.
Oh, that's amazing.
He had 2 of everything.
That's awesome.
And he's really enjoyed it. He has been able to get out and meet. All the classes are virtual. But he's really enjoyed it. And there's a good number of people from his high school that go to Virginia Tech, and he's actually found somebody to drive him back here. Which
nice.
does 9 hours of driving. So thank you, friend. We'll pay you gas. But yeah, so back in time for Thanksgiving, and it'll be great to see him. He says, I can't wait to get home. And I said, and 3 days later, you're going to say, I can't wait to get back to college. But that's all normal. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's how trips back home work.
Yes, that is how that's supposed to be. I'll cook him his favorite meals next time he goes away. So, yeah. Well, listen, that's like awesome. I said, I know you are a busy woman, and I've got some packing to do.
Yes.
So November
you're
17th.
Busy. Yeah. Don't act like you're not busy.
I have nothing to do.
Yeah, you're handling a lot too.
I am. But that's all right. Take it in stride. That's what wine is for.
That's right.
And that's what crock pots are for, because the dinner is already cooked. It's been
very nice.
11 o'clock this morning, so it's all good. Yeah.
That's very nice.
So, you look lovely, and I appreciate the conversation today. It was great.
Yes.
Good to talk with you. And I look forward to it again.
Yeah, and I guess we won't be seeing you Friday then, right? At tea time, because you'll be Okay.
I will
That's
be
cool.
I will be at my niece's wedding. It's on a Friday, actually. Okay. I asked her, I'm like, can we wear hats? She's like, no.
Yeah, it's a wedding.
So I lost out on that one.
Oh man. I love that you tried.
Because I'd be the only one wearing a hat.
Yeah, I know.
Can't do that.
Yeah, anyway. They'll just be like, oh, she's my weird aunt from England. Just say that she traveled over here.
Eccentric. Let's go with eccentric. Aunt from England.
Right.
Very far to be here.
There you go.
All right. Listen.
Awesome.
Great to see you.
Yes, lovely to see you too.
Thank you for the delicious teas. They were amazing.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for whoever watches into infinity. I'll put it up on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Until our next tea tasting. Bye.
Bye.